This video explores how Allied air power was instrumental in forging the longest day, D-Day, the invasion of Normandy. Simply stated, without air power, Normandy would have been impossible. Hitler's Atlantic Wall, known as Fortress Europe, was an imposing defense line. Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, the commander, believed a frontal assault was doomed due to the immense scale of mines, bunkers, and beach obstacles. Operation Overlord was the Allied plan, targeting a 50-mile stretch of the Normandy coast. A key element was Operation Fortitude, a massive deception that convinced the Germans the main attack would be elsewhere. The pre-invasion air campaign aimed to destroy the Luftwaffe and isolate the battlefield. Relentless attacks by long-range fighters achieved total air supremacy, effectively gutting the Luftwaffe before D-Day. On June 6, 1944, the invasion began. While landings at Utah, Gold, Juneau, and Sword were successful, Omaha Beach was chaotic. Heavy clouds forced bombers to miss their targets, and U.S. forces suffered over 2,500 casualties. After the landings, the advance slowed in the Normandy bocage, a landscape of dense, tangled hedgerows that formed natural fortifications. For Allied infantry, this hedgerow war was a killing ground, requiring new fighting methods. The Allied forces pioneered the armored column cover system, forging a vital air-land partnership. Lead tanks were equipped with radios and air liaison officers, allowing them to call in immediate, precision airstrikes. Two key fighter bombers, the P-47 Thunderbolt and the Hawker Typhoon, became the workhorses of close air support. These rugged, heavily armed aircraft were perfectly suited for the brutal ground attack role. To break the stalemate, Operation Cobra included a massive, carpet bombing near St. Lo. Despite errors that killed American troops, the bombing's effect on German defenses was devastating and apocalyptic. The German counterattack at Mortain was stopped entirely from the air. Hitler's panzer forces drove directly into a swarm of rocket-firing RAF Typhoons, demonstrating the power of Allied air superiority. As the German 7th Army retreated, they were encircled in the Falaise pocket, turning the escape route into the corridor of death. Fighter bombers from the AAF and RAF inflicted massive, relentless destruction on enemy vehicles. The Falaise pocket resulted in the annihilation of the German army in France as an effective fighting force. The battlefield was a scene of unparalleled carnage, leaving entire divisions without tanks or artillery. The Normandy campaign proved the fighter bomber was the supreme close air support weapon. The air-land partnership, utilizing radar-guided strikes, created a level of cooperation the enemy could not match. General Dwight D. Eisenhower's words underscore the critical role of air power. "If I didn't have air supremacy, I wouldn't be here." Historically, D-Day was the largest amphibious invasion, opening a vital Western front and demonstrating the effectiveness of Allied cooperation. Today, modern alliances like NATO still study Operation Overlord for lessons in joint planning and logistics. How did D-Day represent a turning point in World War II, and why was the success of Operation Overlord so critical to defeating Nazi Germany? Troops faced immense challenges: fortified defenses, rough seas, and high human cost. Their adaptability ensured success. Modern military planning still emphasizes intelligence, adaptability, and coordination across all domains, principles refined during D-Day. What challenges did Allied forces face during the Normandy landings, and how do those challenges influence modern military strategy? The invasion involved American, British, Canadian, and other Allied forces working toward a shared goal, despite differences. International coalitions today, addressing global threats and crises, reflect the cooperative spirit forged in 1944. How did D-Day demonstrate the importance of international cooperation, and how does that lesson resonate in today's global conflicts? Thousands of soldiers were killed or wounded in a single day, underscoring the immense cost of freedom. Remembering these sacrifices shapes modern views on war, emphasizing caution, accountability, and respect for service. What was the human cost of D-Day, and how does remembering those sacrifices shape modern views on war and leadership? D-Day was a stand against tyranny and totalitarian rule. Its legacy remains a symbol of defending democracy, inspiring modern resistance to authoritarianism, and reminding nations of the cost of complacency. How does the legacy of D-Day continue to influence democratic values and the global fight against authoritarianism today?